Alright, what up? Today I'll be talking about the top three most dangerous zodiacs, or the zodiacs with the highest potential of dangerous behavior. I'll explain in what way they are dangerous, based on what criteria, based on what information and group am I kind of identifying them. I will split it into three subgroups: power, emotional manipulation, and communication, being the choice of danger. I will explain my choice regarding the top three, but I'll go over each one for just a couple sentences and explain the potential of each one, but then also explaining my choice of the top three. And then I'm gonna also add some mythology. I'll bring up the planets, the kind of maybe some mythology, the gods, kind of connected to that. And then I'm also going to connect my choice based on the strongest and weakest chakra of each of these zodiacs. Now, the way I am going to be conducting the video and pretty much judging the zodiac is not based on physical power, physical danger, how likely they are to mess you up in that way, but rather something based on the emotional, intellectual side of things. Someone who can use these to their advantage. Their ability to sense a situation, kind of their intuition of a person, of a situation, being able to see through people, that having to do with emotional intelligence, their understanding of human psychology, just human design, social group interaction, societal hierarchical interaction, that sort of thing, and their manipulative tendencies, as well as them being able to use their communication in a manipulative way. So what I'm trying to say is that it's very going to be based on the mental plane, on the emotional plane, rather than physical sort of confrontation, right? So obviously, before I keep on talking about this, I want to mention that it is very generalized. This is completely just my opinion and my study of the zodiac, just my whole understanding of this stuff. And that is, yeah, my opinion. So that's not going to be facts. Each person has their own opinion. Each person has a potential to be very dangerous. Every zodiac has a dark side, has dark character traits. Each individual has a shadow. So anybody has the potential for danger, right? And it's difficult to put people in a group, but that's kind of what I'm trying to do. So let me go over the 12 and kind of say what I think about each one. Starting with the Aries. Aries, ruled by Mars, would be the god of war, right? It is a fiery planet, a very masculine planet. Obviously, if you're dealing with the god of war, there's going to be a sense of aggression, domination, that alpha sort of personality. Also, the Aries' strongest chakra is the solar plexus, meaning they do have that masculine energy, so they are going to be dominating. There are some powerful individuals. They are very powerful individuals, possibly some of the most determined and one of the most powerful of the zodiac as a whole. But I would not put them in the list because also their weakest chakra would be the heart chakra, which gives them a sort of insensitivity, and that could put them on the list, but no. Where was I? Yeah, they're not on because there's just better candidates. The Taurus, not as well, because they are just known to be sort of balanced and friendly, right? They are kind individuals most of the time. Obviously, they have a dark side. They can run over you, but no, they're not on the list. The Gemini is on the list. I'll get into them in a bit. The Cancer on the list. Leo, despite their desire to be so dominating and powerful, because they are ruled by the sun being the masculine principle, the dominating sort of leadership, alpha type of persona, but overall, they are some very kind people. They have the heart chakra as their strongest center, meaning that even though they are the king of the jungle, the king of the jungle is already at the top, and when you're already chilling at the top, you don't have to compete. You've already escaped kind of the matrix. You're already at the top, so unless somebody really wants to dethrone you from your kingdom, then you might have to take initiative as a Leo. But besides that, you mostly don't have to overly assert your power and dominate over others. You know your own worth. You kind of already have that ego for yourself, and your ego is high enough. It's higher than when you're still insecure and you have to kind of push yourself onto others. It's higher than that, which is actually a good thing, because now it's so high that you don't have to prove anything to anyone, which means that you actually are able to be a very peaceful and stable individual without having to assert your power, dominate. None of that. You know your power. You don't need to indulge in that. You are more mature than that, in a sense. I just know many Leos, so I wanted to talk a bit about that. Virgos know a very feminine sign, not on the list. They just don't match that energy, not the archetype at all. The Libra, very balanced, don't like confrontation, don't like conflict. It's like the exact opposite of them. Definitely not on the list. The Scorpio on the list, we'll talk about in a second. The Sagittarius, a very fiery, masculine, dominating sign, very assertive, honest, opinionated. They are not on the list though. They are, in a sense, also maybe physically, or they are very powerful. They are very powerful individuals, for sure. But they don't seem to exploit it or overuse it, possibly. The Capricorn definitely has great potential to be on that list. Goats, it is the water goat, right? Goats are always seen to be diplomatic. They never initiate conflict, so they are not gonna be specifically for that. They are very materialistic and driven by Saturn, right? And that's why they may put their own needs against the needs of others, so they can be egotistical, in a sense heartless, because their career pursuits, their financial pursuits, their own interest is kind of put above everybody else's needs and everybody else. This makes them have the potential for this energy, for that dangerous, manipulative persona. They definitely have a strong dark side. They definitely have the potential to be very dangerous when necessary, but they're not in the top three. Then the Aquarius, very intelligent, air sign, do not resemble that energy, somewhat just aren't interested in that, in a sense, have the potential because of the intelligence, but no. And the Pisces also not. With the heart chakra as their strongest chakra, they are just too emotionally kind of mature. They're very empathetic and loving, and overall the heart center, right? So let me now get into the top three. The top three being the Cancer, the top two, the Gemini, the top one, the Scorpio. So as you can see, I got a little chain over here. It's like the 6-9, which is the Cancer. I'm a Cancer myself. Had to rock the chain for the video. So let's talk about Cancers and why they are in the top three. Now they are ruled by the moon. The moon is changing every 2.5 days, meaning that they are always moody and changeable every 2.5 days, because the moon enters a new sign every 2.5 days. This makes them very emotionally intelligent, because the moon archetype is connected to the feminine principle. It is the mother archetype, and a water element, which is feeling, intuition, the subconscious, intuitive side of things, right? So they can be considered the most emotionally intelligent sign, as that's what the moon represents, which also makes them have the third eye as their most powerful chakra. That's something I'll talk about a bit later. But they can be, yeah, emotionally unstable, possessive, moody, because um, the moon's influence, right? They, hold on. Right, so in their good side, they can be nurturing, uplifting, and caring because of the moon archetype, very loyal, loving towards their loved ones and friends. They are a cardinal sign, which means that they are the initiators of things, they get things going, they are always on the go in a sense, they are very busy, busy little crabs. Um, right, but they can be dangerous because they can be emotionally detached, right? So they are masters of psychology in a sense. They understand human nature. It's difficult to lie to them, it's difficult to manipulate them because they just see through the person. They are sensitive on a very spiritual level. So that makes them not, you gotta, yeah. So they can also themselves be passive aggressive and very extreme because their mood is so changeable. They can be a little bit extreme. They can be unable to let go or confront an issue right away, which means that anger may build up for them and they can become, it kind of, yeah, it just builds up in them. And because they, like a crab moves sideways, they do not express that anger right away, which means that it just keeps getting stored up until there is a overly assertive, explosive outburst of that anger, negative energy, whatever you may have. Cheers. So, what else? Their weakest chakra would be the sacral chakra, which is the I feel. The mantra is I feel. So that has everything to do with how one would feel, their um, emotional attachments, which when it is unbalanced or unstable can cause this um, possessiveness or clinginess, right? Which cancers are also known for. And the sacral chakra having everything to do with the five senses and feeling things, that also has to do with sexuality. They can have certain addictions with substances, overall, yeah, stuff like sex, gambling, indulgence, everything to do with the five senses, overeating, over drinking, that type of stuff, right? So um, that's something a cancer may deal with, but this makes them, like that third eye as well, makes them understand other people's emotions but not their own, right? So they are themselves unstable, but they can really sense that in other people. So they understand other people maybe sometimes better than themselves. They can also deal with an overactive third eye chakra, which has a lot of drawbacks, um, a lot of dangers to that. But yeah, that sacral chakra disbalance is going to make them emotionally unstable, moody, possibly possessive. Let's talk about the Gemini. The Gemini, I know less about the Gemini than the Cancer, but I know about the Scorpio more than all the other ones. So the Gemini is kind of short. It's ruled by Mercury, who is the god of, it's the god Hermes. Mercury, messenger of the gods, everything to do with commerce, communication, trade, business, thieves, boundaries, roads, travelers, merchants, athletes, speed, cunning, language, oratory, wit, and messages. So you can imagine that the Gemini's strongest chakra would be the throat chakra, which is the chakra of communication. And this makes them masters at it. This makes them master communicators. And because they are an air sign as well, they're going to be highly intelligent. So they're just really able to lie and, in a sense, get away with it because they are just quicker than others. They are just really better understanding of the intellectual, communicative um, side of things, right? Engagement with humans, with um, I just sounded like an alien. Communication with humans. Um, where was I? Bruh. Um, Communication, right? So they just outsmart you, they outlie you, they outmanipulate you, and you didn't even see it coming. They're just too good. They have this dual nature, right? They have this higher self and lower self. People see the Gemini as the twins, like a dark side and a light side, or the duality sort of things, the mixed personality, but it's more the connection of the lower self to the higher self. And the lower self may be a completely different person and have different intention than the higher self, right? Um, so that can make them, in that sense, dangerous because you don't really know who you are dealing with. They are they can be manipulative and you won't even see it coming, right? So their weakest throat chakra could um, actually be the throat chakra, and that sounded weird because I just said it's their strongest one, but it may be overactive, right? And when a chakra is overactive, you get the same type of disturbances or disbalances as when it is disbalanced or blocked, right? Overactive is like the opposite polarity of blocked, right? So it's gonna carry that strong energy as well, and that can make them inauthentic. The throat chakra deals with everything that has to do with authenticity, telling the truth, and being genuine and authentic in your communication, especially. And when that is not the case, they can get certain blockages or um, disturbances on that, like in that area, even on the physical plane, right? So that's everything with that. Now, moving on to the Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto and Mars. Before astronomers, or is it astrologers? One of these two. It's the astronomers that actually like study the stars. Astrology is just using the stars, right? Whatever. Anyways, before astronomers, I believe, knew about Pluto because it's the farthest planet from the sun, it was believed that the sign of Scorpio is run by Mars. Mars, as with the Aries being the god of war, right? So they're gonna have that fiery warrior masculine nature to them, right? Very dangerous, intense, powerful, dark in a sense, almost individuals, right? Um, they are a fixed water sign. If we look at water in a fixed state, that would be ice, right? And that kind of connects to the heartlessness, to the coldness, and other characteristics which I'm about to describe of the Scorpio. So they are very intense and magnetic individuals. Um, Pluto represents death, rebirth, that sort of stuff, is connected to the god Hades, and him and Pluto being the god of the underworld, wealth, and agriculture, right? So these are some themes which the Scorpio may be dealing with. Regarding the chakras, one sec. Regarding the chakras, the strongest would be the solar plexus, giving them that strong, fiery, masculine energy, that great willpower, determination, right? But their weakest chakra is the heart chakra, which deals with emotion, emotional attachment towards others, how you interact, connect with other people, and that's something which they seem to not, you know, get along with. So, some interesting stuff we're about to get to with the Scorpio. They are vengeful detectives because they do not forget anything, and they're good at digging things up. As you know, a Scorpio, they like live in the sand, and they, I don't know how I just connected that. Yeah. Um, they greatly resemble the snake archetype from Chinese astrology. If you are familiar with the Chinese zodiac, you would know that the snake is the most vengeful and kind of resenting sign, right? So, um, if you are interested in Chinese astrology, which is a very playful and quick to learn and quick to understand, it's a fun thing to add to your knowledge. I strongly suggest you watch my video, Secrets of the Chinese Zodiac, or Discover Your Secret Power Using Secrets of the Chinese Zodiac. There, I pretty much describe what your sign is, the characteristics and personality traits of each sign, and yeah, that's just a fun um, type of astrology to learn. It's very quick to learn. It's very just childlike, engaging, and fun to share with others. But pretty much the snake um, is the most vengeful. Now, the Scorpio can be very hidden and secretive, and they do not open themselves up for too long. It may take a long time for them to open up, right? They do not attack first as they are attacked, but rather, like as they are attacked, they're not gonna fight back exactly then, but they are gonna plot something. They're gonna plan something and come up with a plan to target their enemy's weak spot, or somebody who has hurt them. They're gonna target their weak spot. The scorpion's stinger can only be used once effectively, because despite the fact that they can sting many times over in a single battle, with each sting, the venom sac is emptied greatly, meaning that in order to strike the opponent as effectively as the first time, it would take too long. So, this all means that the scorpion has more or less one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted for one moment. Would you capture it or just let it slip? His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on his sweater already. Anyways, so they're gonna have that Eminem like one shot, one opportunity type of deal to strike down and take down their opponent, right? And in case that strike is not effective, the scorpion may now be at risk of getting destroyed by their opponent, right? So it's really one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, right? In such a situation, it is crucial to do your detective work and really find the weak, vulnerable spots of your enemy, which the scorpion does. And they continue waiting until that weak spot and the opponent is at their most weak or vulnerable state, giving the scorpion an opportunity to blow a deadly strike and eliminate their opponent in a single blow. That is what makes the scorpion so deadly, right? Don't mess with the scorpion. I just talked about the Cancer. I got like claws, right? So like Cancers are peaceful beings, most, right? Um, People say like, oh, like they're manipulative and stuff, but I've never really needed that myself. I never understood that, but Cancers don't really initiate conflict. It's just that if somebody hurts them, they're gonna like pinch you back, right? But with the Scorpio, they are gonna like that stinger, that little thing they got, that is gonna completely mess you up. That's gonna completely mess you up. You don't want to get the scorpion stinger, right? A crab little claw is gonna completely go away after a bit, but that scorpion bite is crazy. You don't want to mess with that. So, um, they, because of their warrior spirit, must be very strategic and calculated in their warfare. A scorpion is hypersensitive towards their environment, which gives them deeper insight into the current circumstances, the current social dynamics, where they are with people, with the current scenario, social hierarchies, kind of like the sexual um, thing, because they are the most sexual sign of the zodiac. It is hold on. Yeah, they are known also to be very attractive people. I have a video called Discover the Secret G Spot of Each Zodiac. It's a crazy title, but basically, there I talk about which body part each zodiac sign represents, because we start with the Aries, Aries being the head, and we move down with each zodiac until we reach the Pisces being the feet, right? In between the head and the feet, there's a sign, right? And the body part which the Scorpio rules is the genitals. And yeah, so with the Scorpio, it's really straight to the point, you know, like they don't even waste time explaining nothing. It's just like right there, right? So in that video, I talk about kind of for that zodiac, that body part is going to be overly sensitive, as well as them having a stronger, that being like a stronger part, more susceptible towards certain disease or health imbalances, but also just mostly where in the body that specific zodiac is more sensitive. Use that information however you wish. I am just like Hermes, the communicator. I'm not the action taker over here. I just communicate the message. I just sit in this room where, as wait, as you can see, this clock has not moved a minute in ever. It never has. Um, yeah, it's just I'm just stuck in time, and all I have is this computer and this camera, and yeah, I just sit in an empty room, and the only thing I have to do is explain my knowledge of um, the Scorpio and the body parts and stuff. So, anyways, where was I? Right, the Scorpio ruling the genitals. They are very attractive people, very sexual people, and they may use their sexuality and sex um, to manipulate, to get something out of someone, to exploit someone, stuff like that. That's obviously very rare cases, but if some zodiac were to use their beauty, sexuality to their advantage and to um, maybe like rob somebody, it may be the Scorpio. I'm just saying. But yeah, I think that's it, to be honest. I think that's it. I think that was a decent video. Um, I hope I didn't get too scatterbrained. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I can't even lie. Yeah, now you guys know what zodiacs have like a stronger dark side, probably. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for being here. And once again, each zodiac has that capacity. I'll probably make more videos talking about that. Which zodiac is more likely to get in a fight? Which zodiac are the cheaters? Which zodiac are the whatever? I'll do it all. I'll do all the zodiacs. And yeah, thanks for being here once again. And have a lovely evening. See you.